look like twins almost.
Okay.
She really wouldn't be able
covering any more subjects related.
So that's why you got the raw reaction.
This is pathetic. It's pathetic. Welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I'm back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Oh my God, you guys, I am so happy to be back. I know it's been a while. We've been trying to get this live done now for about a week now, right? Every day. But I was having issues with the computer. I was having all types of issues. So, but we here. We're here now. So you guys let me know if you can hear. I am in an area that might have a little bit of an echo. So just let me know if you can hear. Hi, Jane. Hey, girl. Thank you for joining the show. So you guys let me know if you can hear, because we're going to get into some things tonight. We got a lot to talk about. So you guys let me know if you can hear, because we got a lot to talk about, child. We got so much to discuss. I want to know why the Shade Room is out here getting PPP loans, honey. Okay? Why would the Shade Room even need a PPP loan? It's the PPP loan for me. So you guys let me know if you can hear. Let me know if everything is, if there's not any lag or anything, because I am working with a new computer. And sometimes these damn things lag and everything, child. So Miss Mary says, hey, Sweet Pea, hope all is well. You can hear. Jane said, we can hear. You are good. All right. So we will be talking about Wendy Williams tonight. And why Nick Cannon is going to be taking over for Wendy Williams. Nick is in talks. He is discussing taking over for Wendy, taking over her time slot. It was rumored, though. A lot of people we saw this coming. Wendy, she is sick. She's got a lot of health problems, and a lot of people were saying that Nick Cannon was probably in line and gearing up to take her time slot. So it seems like, we're now starting to get this information that Nick just might be in the running for Wendy Williams' spot. All right. But I'm going to tell you right now, Nick is Nick. But as far as the gossip sector and getting the tea, Wendy is the queen of that. I can't see Nick getting tea, so I'm trying to figure out what type of show Nick would have. What would it even be giving? Yeah. Rick Ross ordered to pay $11,000 in child support. The Shade Room out here getting PPP loans. Bill Cosby says R. Kelly was railroaded, and Will and Jada with the open relationship. Will once wanted a harem of women, including Halle Berry, and now we starting to find out that Jada not only was August Alsina a target of her cougarism, but one of the members from Criss Cross, the group Criss Cross, was as well when he was a minor. So yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. Jada's always been predatory, predatory. What is that? Predatorial. I don't know. She's always been a goddamn predator. She was had her damn son. Listen, I want to holler at August Alsina. I want to holler at your friend. Hook your mama up. She's been giving those type of vibes. That family, they are so weird. It's like they play into their desires. Whatever their body, their flesh, their heart desires, they just feed into it. It's like they're a celebrity, they got money. Whatever I feel like doing, that's what I'm doing. I don't give a damn if it's wrong, right, whatever. If this is what I feel like doing, this is what I'm going to do. That's what the Smiths, they just give. They give that. And Money Bagg Yo and Ari Fletcher. We all know that Ari and Money Bagg are together. But Ari Fletcher gifted Money Bagg Yo 28 acres of land for his birthday recently. And she was taking a lot of hits in the comment section of the post on the Shade Room. And even the women, the ladies from the Real, they even weighed in on her gifting Money Bagg Yo this 28 acres of land. So we're going to talk about that as well. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So where shall we start first? Okay. Let's do the Shade Room. I'm going to be petty. And we're going to start off with the Shade Room. Miss Mama's here. Okay, Miss Mama's. Miss Mama's. All right, so we all know that because of COVID, the government, they put money into small businesses, all right? They gave money because they felt like, hey, you might not be able to pay your employees. You may be taking a hit, with this pandemic. So a lot of places, restaurants, movie theater, all these different places that really suffered because of COVID. They couldn't work. People couldn't go out to eat. So the servers, all these people that had these type of jobs, they were out of work. In order for these businesses to remain open and get them through the pandemic, so that way once the pandemic was over, they would be able to still be in business, the government put money into the Small Business Administration and a couple other agencies. And if you had a tax ID number and you had a business, you could qualify and you could, get these loans. So apparently the Shade Room felt as though because they have a tax ID and because they are a legitimate business, they felt as though, why not? Why not apply for a PPP loan? So how I came about this information, I was researching, and I was looking up other things, and I happened to run across this. I happened to run across the Shade Room and a PPP loan. Because contrary to popular opinion, this information is public. Anyone that got a PPP loan, it's published. It's public. It's public information. I did not gain this information illegally. It is out there. Anyone that got a PPP loan, and don't get it twisted, these loans have to be paid back. So it's not like you got free money. If you got a PPP loan, you have to pay them back. But the premise is that you have to have payroll that is a certain amount. You have to have overhead that is a certain amount. You can't just be a business, I got a tax ID and boom, I'm going to get a PPP loan. There was a lot of qualifications and there was a lot of information that you have to prove that you're a legitimate business. So yeah, the Shade Room, they applied, and this is, I'm gonna give y'all the receipt. Okay? I'm gonna give you the receipt, honey, because you're gonna be surprised when you see how much money they got. And I'm gonna show you this. We're gonna look at it, and then I'm gonna give my thoughts on it. Because to be honest with you, I don't believe that the Shade Room, I I don't think that they should have obtained a PPP loan. A lot of businesses took a hit during COVID, but online businesses, blogs, entertainment online, they did not. If anything, their business grew during COVID because everyone was in the house. They were online looking up YouTube videos, looking up anything to watch, anything to be entertained because they couldn't go outside. They couldn't do the things that they normally did. So online services, they did well. If anything, they grew, tripled in size during the pandemic because people were in the house. So honey, boom. The Shade Room LLC, they obtained $196,700 in a PPP loan. They obtained it April 15th, 2020. They got theirs on the first round, okay? The amount forgiven, $198,543, includes any accrued interest. It says companies and nonprofit organizations that receive PPP loans may have the loans forgiven if they meet certain criteria, including not laying off employees during the defined period covered by the loan. So this means that they did not have to pay this money back. Some companies had to pay it back, and some, if they paid it out to their employees, they were able to obtain and retain their employees. Their companies did not fold. They forgave those loans, so they did not have to even pay the money back. Okay? Applicants must attest in their application that the loans are necessary for their continuing operation. Note, this data reflects loan applications approved by banks and submitted to the Small Business Administration. It may not account for money not distributed to or credit not used by a given company. So now they got over $196,000. They got their money from First General Bank. They report that they have 13 jobs. They have 0 utilities, 0 mortgage, 0 health care. They pay 0 rent. Everything is 0, but they have a payroll. They claim they have a payroll of $196,700. This seemed like a scam to me, honey. This seemed like scheming and scamming to me. Okay? And I'm not trying to be petty, and I'm not trying to be a snitch. But honey, you are the Shade Room. Every 5 minutes you are posting some type of social media post. Just now while I'm live, I get a notification. The Shade Room. The Shade Room. They post content at least every half hour, at least every 20 minutes. They are posting something. You mean to tell me that you were doing bad during the pandemic and you needed $196,000 to give and be able to keep your payroll, keep your staff on payroll? I doubt it. I highly doubt that was the case. I highly doubt that was the case, because the Shade Room is very profitable. The Shade Room does very well. They're doing very well for themselves financially. So I do not understand why the Shade Room needed a PPP loan. Someone help me to understand why the Shade Room needed a PPP loan. Let me know in the chat why you think that they needed a PPP loan. If you're catching this on the replay, let me know why you think they needed a PPP loan. Do you think that they needed a PPP loan? Does this sound like a fraudulent scam to you? Sounds like that to me. You don't have any overhead. You don't got no rent, no utilities. You're not paying out health care to your employees. So how is your payroll $196,000 a month? when you are running the blog yourself. You might got a couple. The only other employees I've ever seen is 2 other people that help you do these videos and interviews. You're not editing any videos. You're putting up posts. If anything, you guys go live. You don't do YouTube. You don't do editing where you have to pay someone to edit your videos. You guys go live and you do your interviews live on Instagram. So what fees and what are you paying out that warranted you to get a PPP loan? Honey, a lot of people were getting these loans just so they can get the money, just because it was out there, it was ready for the taking. So people were like, shit, if I got a LLC, if I have a tax ID, I'm going to get this money. Did they need it? Probably not. Probably not. Did they need a PPP loan when you're in the business of online blogging? I don't think so. You have celebrities that are paying you to post about them, paying you to post positive and paint them in a positive light. I know you got people on payroll. I know it's payola going on over there. All I see is, remember when she, not too long ago, she posted her mansion or her new home and showing how she was living. Okay, how did you get that place using that PPP loan? A lot of people are out here posted up, showing off, flexing, acting like they got money, calling everybody else broke. And it's because they done went out here and schemed and scammed and got these PPP loans. Honey, they done schemed and scammed and got these damn PPP loans. Sounds like a scam to me. Miss Mary says they got it while the getting was good, I guess. The people that did that ain't ish and they know it. Okay? Brown skin lady says they had to know people would look for trash on them. Kamika Jones says, what in the fraudulent? Child. Alice Moore says, money hungry, fraudulent PPP loan. Rita says, someone getting locked up. But see, the thing with these loans, if you can prove that you pay out $196,000 in payroll, because don't think that they're not going to come back around. They're going to come back around. It's going to come back around again, asking for you to prove that you have that amount of payroll. Usually with these loans and these programs, how it works in the beginning, and I know in 2020 when the pandemic really kicked off and they started giving out the money in these programs, it was so chaotic and it was so many applications that the people that were working at these government agencies, they was just approving the stuff. It was being approved and looked at later. Now in 2021, they're doing a lot of going back and checking up on things. They're doing a lot of checks and balances, going back and checking up on these applications. And that's how they're starting to find a lot of people committed fraud. Because in the beginning, yeah, it was good for getting while you might as well get while the potato was hot, because it was like they were just giving it out because they had nobody working at these places. It was barely enough employees to keep up with these loans. So they were just giving the money out, and if anyone, if they just had a tax ID, they were getting the loan. They weren't checking. So it's just, it smells a little fishy to me, smells a little fraudulent, scamming to me, because online services, they did well during COVID. The Shade Room ain't lose no money. They didn't lose no money. If anything, they went up in numbers. They went up in views. They went up in followers. They got the Shade Room teens. They have a lot of different streams of income. They are not broke, and they did not need this, in my humble opinion. They didn't need this PPP loan. They did not. It just seems like because they had a tax ID and they knew that they could get it, they got it. Period. Miss Mary says, I was offered to scam, but I wasn't about to do that. My friend group was laughing about the list in our town. Child. Life with the Leonard family says, well, the ones who ain't legit better get ready for them cuffs because they have task forces coming for them soon. Child. Brown skin lady said, Miss Mary, I'm glad you did. Nothing in this country is free. Exactly. Yup. Rita says, they sure do. Folks are getting jail time. For real, for real. If you lied, you're done. Child. Yes, it was more so restaurants, retail stores who needed it the most. Absolutely, brown skin lady. And that's my thing. Like, a lot of this, it was money that, other companies and, the small businesses, it was for the small businesses, to get them through the pandemic. People that had retail stores, people that had, it was some businesses that were just shut down, that were put out of business, servers, people that worked in the serving industry with bars and restaurants and food. Some people that had just opened up their restaurants and what have you, they were just put out of business. So before these loans and stuff came to save the day, doors was just shutting up. They just shut up quick. It didn't take long. Doors just closed. So I just feel like it's greedy for someone like the Shade Room, a company like the Shade Room, to take advantage of these PPP loans. I think it's greedy. I think you didn't need the money. I think you just got it because you knew you could get it, and that, you really didn't need it. You just knew you could get it, so you got it. I don't think that it's fair to other businesses that probably really needed that type of money, and all they could get was $5,000. I've seen some people that had legitimate businesses that applied for loans, and all they gave them was $10,000 and $5,000, and they had cleaning companies, legit ass cleaning companies, and they really needed the money to keep their employees employed. So a business like the Shade Room gets $196,000. That's a lot of money, and I know damn well you do not have payroll every month that you're paying out $196,000. You can't tell me that that's true. I do not believe that. You can't tell me that that's true. I don't believe that at all. Okay? Greedy, greedy, greedy. In my humble opinion. Just greedy. Just greedy. Child. Speaking of greedy. Speaking of greedy. Rick Ross. Speaking of greedy. Rick Ross is ordered to pay $11,000 in child support. I believe it is for 3 of his children. With his most recent baby mama, I want to say. They've been on again, off again, on again, off again. And in the midst of these on again, off agains, they are having children. I do remember, I can recall that with this last baby, he made her take a paternity test, made the baby mama take a paternity test, which I don't think she even showed up for, but he did the typical old dirty baby daddy tricks. That's not my baby. I need a paternity test in order to pay child support. And they just steady having children. Child, they make up, break up, and then in the midst of these make-up breakups, they have children. Okay? So, it looks like a judge, Rick Ross, will pay $11,000 per month in child support for 3 of his kids. According to a new legal document obtained by TMZ, Rick Ross is expected to start paying Brianna Singleton $11,000 a month in child support for 3 of their kids. Rick Ross has one other child from another relationship. The docs say that Rose also needs to pay for his kids' health insurance and extracurricular activities. Figures estimated to be around $7,560 per month. The Maybach music mogul might be required to provide additional annual payments for up to $3,000 per child. Rick also agreed to pay Brianna's attorney around $25,000, an expense he can afford according to the documents, which lists his monthly income at around $585,000 per month. Rick Ross makes $585,000 a month. That is his monthly income. Now, apparently, Brianna's income is only $142 a month. Well, I guess so. I mean, if she doesn't have a job and all she is posted up on Instagram, I guess her Instagram page is only doing $142 a month, child. I guess she ain't really got no, and her Instagram, I guess, ain't popping like that. She's only making $142 a month. That is her income, child. News of the child support payments comes after Ross purchased a Wingstop restaurant for his 16-year-old son. And I remember this. We talked about this on one of my on my last live, where he purchased, and child, this looked like a grown man. This don't even look like no damn 16-year-old. This looks like a baby Rick Ross. This looked like a grown ass man. I don't know where they get 16-year-olds that got tattoos all over their body. This boy got he is tatted everywhere. His legs, his chest, at 16 years old. But I get it. And like I explained to people, honey, Rick Ross, he owns a bunch of Wingstops, but it's a lot of people that thinks that he is like the CEO of Wingstop, and he is not. There is another gentleman by the name of William something that owns Wingstop. And it is not Rick Ross. Rick Ross does not own the actual Wingstop company. He just owns franchises. It's similar to someone that would own a bunch of McDonald's. So him gifting his son a Wingstop, basically what he did was just give him his own franchise. He's not going to physically be working at the Wingstop. He's going to have employees. He's going to have it, running as a legitimate business. He's just going to be the owner of it at 16. So all of these people that were talking about generational wealth, I had to educate them on what generational wealth really was, because this is not generational wealth. Generational wealth is when you own your own company and it can be passed down to generation to generation to generation. This is a franchise. This is part of a white man's company. This white man owns Wingstop. So if he was to go belly up, or if Wingstop was to go out of business, then Rick Ross and his son would lose those Wingstops. If Wingstop was to close down, or they was to would not be a Wingstop, their franchises would go belly up. Okay? They would have to turn in them franchises. So generational wealth is when you are the owner of your own business. You create your own company and you pass it down to your children. That's generational wealth. And your family owns the business. So of course, you get people that say, oh, you hating, you don't know what you talking about. Why are you hating on them? Why are you hating on Rick Ross? I'm not hating on Rick Ross. Well, Rick Ross got to pay $11,000 per month, honey, with these kids. He got to pay $11,000 per month with these children, and he can afford it. He's making $585,000 a month. He can afford $11,000. In my opinion, it should be more. He should be made to pay more. When you have these kids, they are living and they're accustomed to a lifestyle of money, clothes, jewelry, cars, and all this. You done gave this woman a lifestyle of jewelry, money, clothes, houses. When you leave her, and just because you decide that you don't want her no more, she doesn't. It's not fair for her to have to go and be broke and be poor and have to live off of $142 a month. Have to be on, honey. That's below the poverty line. That's below the national poverty guidelines. That's po. That's po. $142 a month. Child, that's qualifying for food stamps. That's qualifying for medical. That's qualifying for all of it. So I just feel like, him trying to, it was him trying to make her take a paternity test for me, like trying to get out of paying child support, as if to say, this ain't my child, I'm not sure if it's my child, doing the dumb okie doke shit that men do when they don't want to pay child support. Honey, you was raw dogging it up in this woman. You know that these are all of your children. So just because you don't want her no more and you feel like she don't deserve your money or she don't deserve, you give these children a lifestyle and you have them accustomed to money and the finer things in life. Just because you leave them, they still deserve to live that lifestyle. I'm always an advocate for that. When these celebrities, these men, when you get these females and you start having kids by them and you start bringing them into this lifestyle, just because you don't want them no more, they don't deserve to have to go downhill and not live that life. Now, women, I always tell my ladies, when you get with these men and they have money and, don't just sit on your ass waiting on a handout. You should be going to school. You should be opening a business. You should be doing something with that lifestyle, with that money, so that if he does leave you, you got your own meal ticket. You can afford to live comfortably. You got a business. You got something going for yourself, so you don't have to wait on a handout. You don't got to take a nigga to court in order to get $11,000 per month and make the judge have to make him do what he's supposed to do and take care of his responsibilities. You should have opened up your own business. You should have made this man have some boutiques. The same way he got all these goddamn Wingstops, he gifted the son one of them. You should have had him gift you a couple of them. Honey, I need a couple Wingstops. But see, y'all get comfortable. Y'all women always, I got a Birkin bag. He gave me a Birkin bag. I got a Birkin for my birthday. I got a Birkin. Y'all so strung out on these Birkin bags and being able to post jewelry and all these long ass nails and all this shit. Bitch, buy me a couple of Wingstops. Bitch, buy me a couple of hair salons. Buy me a couple of boutiques so I can sell Birkin bags. Like, you got to start thinking like that, because when these men ready to leave you and they ready to leave you for someone else, someone finer and prettier and younger and tighter, then you sitting there looking like a sour puss, looking like a bitter ex. Because that's what the people going to call you. That's what the girls going to call you, that you're a bitter ex. So while you're in these relationships, you need to be getting all you can get out of it. You need to be getting all you can get out of it. Shit, a business, something. Shit, he gave the son a goddamn Wingstop. Honey, you should have had about 3 of them. You got 3 kids. I need a Wingstop for every child I got. She need a Wingstop, he need a Wingstop, and they need a Wingstop. And I need a Wingstop. You should have 4 Wingstops. This man got Wingstops all over the country. Why you don't have any? You sitting there making only $142 a month. You should be ashamed of yourself. What woman you know making $142 a month? No damn income. No income. Girl, at least be doing some type of promos for people. You're Rick Ross's baby mama. Your page should be jumping. Your social media should be very large. You should have all types of followers, and you should have people banging down your door for promo. You should have used that to your advantage. You see them little young girls, the Jada Cheese, the Aris, all these people, honey, they got with them young boys, and they made something of their name by attaching themselves to their men. Honey, Jada, she the best to ever do it, honey. Jada Cheese, honey, she's the best to ever do it. She attached herself to Lil Baby, honey, and you would think that she's the goddamn rapper. You would think that she's the damn celebrity. She said, oh, I'm going to be the baby mama. I'm going to make something out of my baby mama. I'm going to make something out of my name, honey. So she got all types of income and revenue streams and all types of money coming in that house. She don't need Lil Baby. Lil Baby wants to leave her, honey. She got a bag. So it is the $142 for me. You should be ashamed of yourself. A grown ass woman like that age, only got $142 down as income. That is pathetic and that is embarrassing. I don't know what judge you went in front of, honey. I know that judge looking at $142. Are you fucking kidding me? If I was a judge, this can't be right. This got to be a damn lie. $142? You kidding me? What y'all saying in the comments? Protect yourself in advance. Think of the future. Life is not guaranteed, okay? But I bet you anything he's a narcissist. Maybe made her not do that and paid her probably, then cut her off. Right. I just made that up, but maybe. Right. Like some people do that. Like, okay, I'm the celebrity. I'm the millionaire. I'm the one with all this money. So no, you don't need to work. I got you. I'll take care of you. You don't need nothing. But you don't never let a man tell you that. You never let a man tell you I got you. But that's what's wrong with these younger generation, honey. Back in the day, we were told as a woman to have your own. You never let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Always have you a little account. Always have you something where you putting up money and you don't know. He don't know. What he don't know, don't hurt him. Your man ain't got to always know everything that what you have. I was raised like that too. Hey, you need to have your own money. You need to have an account that so when things go bad, you got your little nest egg put up. Not $142 and you standing in that courtroom begging for child support so that you can live off his money. I mean, again, like I said, if he got you used to this lifestyle, yes, he should keep that lifestyle going. But a grown woman with $142 as an income, girl, bye. No, ma'am. That is not cute at all. Okay, so Jada, you know what? Jada and Will, okay. Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. Jada and Will. Child. Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. Whew. I don't know what to say about them. I really don't. It just seems to me that, you know, them with this open relationship, you know, they have always, you know, told the world that they are in an open marriage, and we know about Jada's entanglements, and now Will is coming out saying that Jada is not the only person in the marriage that, you know, had relationships outside their marriage. She's not the only one that partook in entanglements. I guess they had a little article out now, honey, where, you know, Will is saying that he once wanted a harem of women, including Halle Berry. Will Smith wanted a harem of women, including Halle Berry. Will Smith dreamed of having a harem of girlfriends, including Halle Berry and Misty Copeland. The Men in Black actor, who is married to Jada Pinkett Smith, discussed his fantasy with intimacy coach Michaela Boehm and even had her work on the list with him and planned to contact the women, but ultimately realized the idea was horrific. He said, "I don't know where I saw it or some shit as a teenager, but the idea of traveling with 20 women that I loved and took care of and all of that, it seemed like a really great idea." And then after we played it out a little bit, I was like, that would be horrific. That would be horrific. I was like, can you imagine how miserable, However, Will still found it helpful to discuss his fantasy in depth. He explained to America's GQ magazine, "What she was doing was essentially cleaning out my mind, letting it know it was okay to be me and be who I was. It was okay to think Halle is fine. It doesn't make me a bad person. That I'm married and I think Halle is beautiful. Whereas in my mind, in my Christian upbringing, even my thoughts were sins." That was really the process that Michaela worked me through to let me realize that my thoughts were not sins. And even acting on an impure thought didn't make me a piece of shit. Last year, Will and Jada candidly discussed the actress's entanglement with singer August Alsina, but the Aladdin star admitted to the publication that his wife wasn't the only one engaging in other sexual relationships outside of their marriage. However, he declined to go into detail, particularly because his mindset has changed in recent years. He explained, "It may seem hard to believe, but I would lose sleep over not giving you the answer that I know you could use. I want to help you. I want you to succeed. I want you to have a headline. But by the same token, I don't want to deal with the backlash of that in the world. To say I don't want to talk about that 3 years ago would have been effing excruciating for me." The 53-year-old star admitted Jada never believed in conventional marriage, so they spent a long time figuring out their relationship boundaries. He said, "Jada never believed in conventional marriage. Jada had family members that had an unconventional relationship. So she grew up in a way that was very different than how I grew up. There were significant endless discussions about what is relational perfection. What is the perfect way to interact as a couple? And for the large part of our relationship, monogamy was what we chose, not thinking of monogamy as the only relational perfection." But Will admitted to everyone that their approach isn't for everyone. He said, "We have given each other trust and freedom with the belief that everybody has to find their own way. And marriage for us can't be a prison. And I don't suggest our road for anybody. I don't suggest this road for anybody, but the experiences, that the freedoms that we've given one another, and the unconventional support to me is the highest definition of love." You guys drop in the chat, and if you're catching this on the replay, I'm going to give you a few minutes to give me your take on Will and Jada's marriage. Let me know what you think about this open relationship. Do you agree with it? Do you agree that Jada grew up around people that were having unconventional relationships, so she never believed in monogamy? Or do you believe that she was just a freak and she just used that as an excuse because she just wanted to be a wild cougar? Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do so. Okay, so you guys let me know. Let me see. Jada's true love was Tupac. I've heard that. I wonder what their children were exposed to, says Alice. Okay. Life with the Leonard family says, I don't think anyone should be married in an open relationship. Right. Miss Mary says, if they like it, I love it. Okay. Donna People says, Jada and Will are two nutcases. All right. Brown Skin Lady agrees with the Leonard family that, right, being in a marriage, you shouldn't be in an open relationship. If you are married, then be married. If you want an open relationship, then you don't need to be married. Period. I don't agree with that. I mean, if you're going to be in a committed marriage, then you need to be in a committed marriage. Okay, Will and Jada. If you're going to be in a marriage, you know, what kind of example are you setting for your children? I really believe that's why their kids are the way they are now. 1 minute Willow is, a lesbian, and then the next minute she's in a polyamorous relationship, and then the next minute she's with a man. Like, she's just all over the place. Willow is all over the place. You know, I think Jaden, he's a little bit more grounded than Willow. I know he went through his phases, you know, and they're just all over the place. And I mean, if they had parents such as Will and Jada, where their household didn't have any real structure, they weren't really an example. I feel like Jada, she had so many issues. You know, now as an adult, she's coming out talking about how she was, you know, her addictions and different things that she was partaking in. I feel like Jada was just doing whatever she wanted to do in that house. You know, can you imagine what their household was like? I think Will wanted to be in a committed relationship. He wanted to have a marriage that was just monogamous, him and his wife, you know. But Jada introduced this, you know, this approach of wanting to find out who they were as people and dig into their souls and be so deep in thinking and religion and spirituality. Jada was the one, to me, that seemed like she was always searching for some type of deeper spirituality or trying to have a connection with a higher power, but it was giving very much it was giving very much fleshly. So it was like, whatever I want to do, whatever I feel, whatever my heart's desire, I'm going to indulge. You know, whatever I feel like I want to do, I'm going to just indulge in it. So I feel like she put that upon Will. You know, Will is from Philly. I know Philly, how Philly men are and how they raise. Will don't know nothing about the type of shit that Jada was into and is into. Will is a Philly boy. He talking about the Plateau. The place called the Plateau is where everybody goes. Summertime. Child, Will is from West Philly. He talking about parking up at the Plateau. Back in the day, that's, you know, where we all went after school in the summer, you know, going up there. Everybody got their cars out, motorcycles, all that. He's talking about those type of things. And Jada, she was running around trying to be at the Scientology place and trying to be up in there with Tom Cruise and them and figure out what the hell was going on in the Scientology. Will and Jada suffered because of Jada. Jada wanted to be able to do whatever she wanted. She got up in that Hollywood scene. She got influenced around all this Hollywood shit. And she became entangled in a lot of things that she probably had no business getting entangled in. And once you get into that, you know, it's really no coming back. Which takes me into this Jada Pinkett. It's now being, we are now finding out that she had a relationship with one of the members from Criss Cross while he was a teenager. And we know that in Hollywood, in this Hollywood scene, it's rumored that a lot of these big wigs and these celebrities, directors, and these people up in Hollywood, these powerful people, they like dealing with children. And some of these, the R word and some of the things that they partake in, they like dealing with children. And, they like, partaking in it. They done been to that island. It's rumored that, some of them celebrities, that they went to that island out there with, Mr. Epstein. And we all know what they were doing out there at that island. So, yeah. Jada Pinkett is being accused of entangling with a member of Criss Cross. Jada Pinkett accused of entangling with a member of Criss Cross. Jada Pinkett Smith had Twitter jumping once again after former Death Row Records rapper and Dog Pound member Daz Dillinger stated that the actress was sleeping with Criss Cross member rkelly when he was 15 and she was 22. That's the dark-skinned one, the one that passed away. That's who rkelly is. Although a far reach, a few people even tried to sit her on the same bus as fallen R&B singer R. Kelly as they responded to the California rapper's claims. Daz revealed that the Dog Pound crew and the Jump, Criss Cross, hitmakers used to roll tight back in their day. You think Jada Pinkett was entangling? She was entangling with Criss Cross. They said it like this. You think Jada Pinkett was entangling? She was entangling with rkelly from Mother Effing Criss Cross. Criss Cross was in the room and Criss was like, Jada Pinkett is at the door, but don't leave. Take this weed, chill. We were like, damn, he gave us an ounce of weed. We gonna kick it right here. Then he came back in and said, yeah, that was Jada Pinkett. I'm like, damn, that's Jada Pinkett at a young age. 1993, around that time, it was around 1993. She was entangling then. Shout out to Jada, Daz revealed in the interview. Jada was the talk of the town last summer when R&B singer August Alsina revealed the two had an affair, and many chimed in on the age difference between the two, as Smith was in her 40s and Alsina was in his early 20s when the relationship started. Will Smith took some of the heat off his wife this week when he revealed in an interview with GQ that they have an open marriage. And it just goes on to say the same thing that we just read previously. Jada never believed in conventional marriage. Jada had family members that had an unconventional relationship, so she grew up in a way that was very different than how I grew up. I don't suggest our road for anybody. I don't suggest this road for anybody, but the experiences, that the freedoms that we've given one another and the unconditional support, to me, is the highest definition of love, Will Smith told GQ. Will Smith covers the November 2021 issue of GQ. And then you can check out Daz Dillinger's revelations about Jada and the late rkelly below in this. Woo, child. Wow. Child. Around this time, around this age of 15 years old, Jada Pinkett was messing with that boy. That does not surprise me. Jada gives me predator vibes, okay? She really does. She gives me underage kids. That she likes dealing with underage kids. She likes dealing with young boys. And she's no different than I don't think that she's any different than anyone else that deals with young kids. It's just that her time hasn't come yet. And a lot of these celebrities, their time will never come because they've been protected. They're protected by the elites. They're protected by their status. Some of them are protected by the elites of Hollywood. So they're okay. They're all right to do these things. But like I said, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, whenever these people are outed, they've been doing this stuff for years, been doing it for a long time. And when they are outed, it's because they did not do something that the elites and that the powers that be that they should have done. They screwed up somehow, and they did something that they weren't supposed to do, and then they get exposed. Okay? Because Jada, 15, what are you doing with a 15-year-old boy? What can a boy do for you at that age? So in my mind, she goes after, she's, the cougar. I don't even believe it's cougar. Because, see, cougar vibes are when you're dealing with young boys and, that are men, though. They're not kids. They're not underage. You might be a 45-year-old woman. Maybe the boy is 21 or 22 or 23, something like that. But 15, 19, that's just too much. That's too young. You are a grown woman with a grown man as a husband at home. What are you doing frolicking around in the streets looking for kids, looking for young boys to sleep with? And then y'all remember how she explained the entanglement with August Alsina. That was her son's friend. And she asked her son to put her down with his friend. He would be coming over there with Jaden, and you was creeping off with him, sleeping with him, and entangling with him. When you got a grown man in the room, a grown man in the bed. But see, when a woman like that has those type of urges, it's because she got a problem. It's because she has issues with dealing with young kids. There is no way you got a grown man, a husband, in the room, in the bed, in the home, and you creeping around the damn patio screen looking out at the kids while they in the damn pool, and while they out there rapping and playing, and he with his friends, August Alsina over there with your kids, and you creeping around looking at them. What were you doing at the studio following Chris Kelly, and you see all them grown men in there, but you want him, a 15-year-old boy? I don't see where people see that's a cougar. That's not a cougar. That's a predator. That's not a cougar. That's a predator. A grown woman sleeping with a 15-year-old boy. That's just like that teacher that was sleeping with her student. And then she went to jail and she got pregnant by the boy. And even when she came home, she still was with him. Like, you have a problem when you are dealing with kids. I'm sorry, there ain't nothing that a little young 15-year-old, 16-year-old can do for me. I got a 16-year-old boy in here running around now, my son. He looks like a baby. Can you picture a grown woman up against... I couldn't picture a grown woman up against my son, bumping and grinding, messing around with his little pee-pee. That little PP. That PP ain't ready to do nothing. Jada should be ashamed of herself. What you want with a little 15-year-old, 16-year-old PP? That PP is not even developed all the way. These kids don't know nothing about, and you could be actually, when you deal with a child that is that age, and you got a grown woman messing with a child that age, you could really be scarring them, like mentally. They might think like they the man, like, I was dating Jada Pinkett, I hit that or whatever. But really, to be honest with you, that's too much too fast. They're just going through puberty. They got a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings surrounded around that. So you don't know what kind of mental anguish you could be causing to a 15-year-old. Yeah, they might feel like in the grand scheme of things in the beginning, like, oh wow, I got a grown woman. But when they start thinking about it, especially as they get older, they may have some, unrelated issues in their life, and then they might think, and it might go back to, was I molested? I think I was molested. Even though it seemed like, maybe they gave consent, but really, you molested and you manipulated that young boy into having a relationship with you. That's predator vibes. That's not cougar. It's nothing cougar about that. That is a predator. And Jada gives me that. She gives me, just like Chrissy Teigen, some of the tweets and the stuff that she has said back, about young children and made references to, just predator, language on Twitter. She's been called out for that many times. Jada is giving me the same vibe. Predator. And Will, to know that his wife is that type of woman, he's just as guilty as she is, because he's allowing that. He's not, he's complicit. He's not, stopping her from doing any of it. He's allowing it. So he's just as to blame as she is, child. That is not cougarism. That's predator. That is a predator. Jada Pinkett, in my opinion, she is a predator. A predator. Period. No wonder why these kids, their kids are just off the hook. 1 minute, Willow is, she don't want to shave her armpits, and then the next she's bald, and then the next she got dreads, and then the next she's in a polyamorous relationship, and then in the next she likes men, and then in the next she like women. They are all over the place, but they get that from their mom, because that's how Jada, whatever floats her boat, whatever she feel like. This morning I woke up, I feel like I want to be a Buddhist. This morning I woke up, I feel like I want to go to Vietnam and learn how to study. I mean, she's just all over the place. All over the place. But a lot of people are saying, I see the comments, about her and Tupac, and saying that she really did have a thing for Tupac. They were in love and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Child, Jada Pinkett is a predator, okay? I cannot imagine her even wanting a grown man. It just seems like she likes young kids. Now, I do know that she had some type of entanglements and relationships with Tupac, but that man is a legend. I don't even want to put him in the same sentence as Jada Pinkett, because maybe when he knew her, and maybe when they were going around and they had a relationship and they had a friendship, maybe she was, because I remember her saying at that time that she knew Tupac, that she was a drug dealer. Y'all remember that? Jada Pinkett said that she was a drug dealer, and then her mom, Gammy, she was on heroin for all those years. So, they're from Baltimore, DC, or whatever that area, and there are a lot of people in that area that did those type of drugs and all that. But Jada says she was a drug dealer back then, and that's how she met Tupac. She was a drug dealer. So, in my opinion, Jada has done a lot of things in her life, and once she got into Hollywood, she tapped into the lifestyles and the things that they do in Hollywood, and she fit right in, because y'all know they do those type of entanglements, dealing with kids, the predator lifestyle, playing into whatever their flesh desires. That's how they get down in Hollywood. Jada fits right in. She fits right in. Woo! And child, speaking of predator, so Bill Cosby says that R. Kelly was railroaded. He says that the same thing with him when he was going through his trial and going through his thing with the women that were accusing him of, molestation and things like that, and drugging and all of that. He says that, they parade the women in front of the public. They put the women in the public opinion, and the public goes after them because they've put these women and they've paraded the victims, on the media and everything. And so you have no other choice but to say he's guilty and to convict him. So he feels like R. Kelly was railroaded because his case and everything was tried in the public. And his publicist actually relayed that information. I guess TMZ caught the publicist out somewhere, and this is what the publicist was giving. The publicist was giving tea. He was giving tea, child.
We talked about it today. But he talked about it today, and the first thing he said, he was like, look, the guy was railroaded. As he said that Gloria already did the same thing that she did with him. You parade women out, and you stir up the public sentiment to go against him. And that's what they did to R. Kelly. My client was conviction was vacated by the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court because they saw the truth. And what we see in America, we talked about it today. But he talked about it today, and the first thing he said, he was like, look, the guy was railroaded. As he said that Gloria already did the same thing that she did with him. You parade women out, and you stir up the public sentiment to go against him. And that's what they did to R. Kelly. My client was conviction was vacated by the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court because they saw the truth. And what we see in America.
So then after that, the publicist now is backtracking. He done backtracked what he said, because after that, you know, the public went crazy over those remarks. And after that, you know, they tried to take back what they said. So now the publicist walks back Cosby saying that R. Kelly was railroaded during the trial. It appeared Bill Cosby was willing to publicly back R. Kelly after the R&B singer was convicted of racketeering, bribery, exploitation of a child, forced labor, and trafficking. Kelly is now facing a minimum of 10 years in a federal prison. Following the announcement of the guilty verdict, Bill Cosby's spokesperson issued a statement about the case. Andrew White shares Cosby's initial take on the matter during an on-camera interview with TMZ. And we just watched that. So now Bill Cosby representative is now retracting those comments by claiming he was not speaking for his client despite specifically sharing what the comedian supposedly said to him. So now he's trying to take it back and say that wasn't Bill Cosby's words. But yes, it was, because that's what you said. You said that y'all talked about it today. You said that, then you parade women out and you stir up the public sentiment to go against him. And that's what they did to R. Kelly. That's what Gloria Aldred did, the same thing to Bill Cosby. Those were your words, sir. Those were your words, sir. It is always these people trying to backtrack what they have said once the public starts dragging them. Honey, Bill Cosby is already canceled. He been canceled. People do not care nothing about this pudding pop, jelly pop, jello pudding pop. They don't care about Bill Cosby. They believe that he was guilty. They believe that he should not have been released. So you and him, sir, should be being as quiet as church mouse, because Bill Cosby should have known that he should not even speak on this topic, because the public is already not feeling Bill Cosby. They're not feeling the fact that he was released. Some people was happy about it and some people weren't. So in my mind, as a publicist, this was publicist 101. This was PR 101. You knew that you should not have made a comment. When they asked you about this, you should have kept on going. You should have kept on going. You should have said no comment. We don't have a comment in this matter, and kept on pushing. You should have not commented, and definitely you should have not said that they were Bill Cosby's words. So now his statement is now reading: as the publicist of Mr. Cosby, I have the right to my opinion, and my opinion is not a reflection of Mr. Cosby's. Yes, I feel that Robert Kelly was railroaded, and those were my words, not the words of Mr. Cosby. I will continue to reflect my views because the First Amendment allows me the same privileges as the media. Thank you very much. Child, you cannot walk that back. You said what you said, and you said, sir, that those were the words of your client. Sir, you did say that you spoke with your client today, and those were his words. So now you're trying to backtrack because the public started dragging you and Mr. Cosby. So now you want to say that they were not his words when clearly we just saw on camera that you said you and your client had just spoke about it today, and you parade the girls around like Gloria Aldrin did with him, and that's how he got railroaded. You said we talked about it today. So you were lying? You didn't talk about it today? You didn't talk about it that day? It was a lie? They kill me always trying to take it back, always trying to backtrack. You said that, sir. You said that it was Bill Cosby's words. And so when you start getting dragged, now you want to try to walk it back. But as a publicist, you know goddamn well that you should have not commented, especially Bill Cosby's publicist, on this subject, because Bill Cosby is already considered, guilty in the public eye. A lot of people do not think that he should have been released. So this should have been a topic that you guys stayed away from. And Bill probably said, why would you even comment on that? You need to go up there and you need to get your ass up there and you need to say that I don't have nothing to do with those statements. These people already don't like me. These people want my head. You need to go on up there and make it right. Because those were not my words when they really were his words. We know that R. Kelly, that Bill Cosby feels, of course, they are both predators. They both did these type of things to women. In my humble opinion, I believe that they are both guilty of the crimes that they were accused of. I believe that they are both guilty. And the reason why they are having these sentiments, Bill Cosby is having these sentiments because predators identify with each other. Of course he's going to take up for R. Kelly. They got the same vibes. They got the same, the same fetishes. They got the same appetite. Now, I'm not going to say that Bill Cosby was dealing with young underage women. He just like putting substances and getting down with the get down. He like getting down with the get down. Okay, he likes to put a little something, sprinkle a little something in people's drink and then tickle their toes. Okay, so but we all know, I keep telling you guys, these are the things that go down in Hollywood. You're allowed, I'm telling you, the appetites, the lusts, the desires that these people develop when they get into Hollywood, it's acceptable, it's allowed, it is, encouraged to indulge in whatever it is you feel because it's freedom. These artists and these celebrities, they believe in freedom. They believe in whatever your appetite is, whatever your heart desire, because you got the money, the power, the wealth, go ahead and indulge. It's only when they get caught. It's only when they get caught. And even then, when they're caught, they have no remorse. They don't regret it. They try to get off. They want their freedom because they want to continue to do the things that they're doing. But they get exposed because they didn't get down with the get down. They did something wrong. They didn't play by the rules. And then they get exposed. Because you mean to tell me you got these long careers? R. Kelly, such a superstar, all these people around him, all of the enterprise that he ran, the way they shuffled the girls here, from there, here to there, everybody partaked in these things. And these record labels didn't know. The record executives didn't know. You didn't know that this man had a bed in the studio. You didn't know any of these things. No, they turn a blind eye to it. And they allow it. Because as long as they're making the money, they're allowed to have these appetites. It's only when they don't play by the rules and they do something that is not part of the rules, that's when they get exposed. So that's just my thoughts, and that's just my humble opinion. I think that the publicist, he should have do better. He should have do not to even comment on this subject, because you already know that they got it out for Bill Cosby. So you guys let me know if you're catching the replay, and if you're in the chat right now, let me know what you think about it. I really want to know what you think about R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. Do you think that they're guilty of the crimes that they've been accused of? Do you think that Bill Cosby was, sprinkling Jello in people's drinks and taking advantage? Do you believe that they should both, have these long sentences? Do you believe that Bill Cosby should have even got released in the first place? Do you think he should be in jail serving time right now? Let me know in the comments. I'll give you a few minutes to do so. All right, Money Bagg Yo and Ari. So Ari, for Money Bagg's birthday, she gifted him 28 acres of land. I guess, what do you buy someone that has it all? That was what she captioned. What do you buy someone that has it all? 28 acres of land, I guess. But this is what these kids do. They be trying to outdo each other. When all their birthdays come around, they've given the Birkin bags. Last year, I think she got him some fucking car that was worth the hundreds of thousands of dollars. I guess it was a Maybach or something like that. So this year, she could not be outdone by other people giving gifts, other celebrity couples giving gifts. So what do you buy someone? You sit down and you think, you know what? I guess I'll give him 28 acres of land. I guess I'll give him 28 acres of land. What is he going to do with that land? I don't know. But I guess I will give him 28 acres of grass, land, trees. I'm going to give him 28 acres. These kids, I don't know what kind of business Ari, her Instagram page must really be making millions of dollars. She must be doing numbers in promo, modeling pictures or whatever, child. When she posts, she must get thousands for her posts, because if she's able to buy a Maybach, now she's able to purchase 28 acres of land. That's a lot of money. And all she does is Instagram. I'm in the wrong goddamn business. I need to get on Instagram. I need to go get me a BBL, get me some titties, get something, and get my ass up on Instagram, child. Bernice Burgos, she's an old woman like me, and she's still popping on Instagram. I need to get my ass on up there on Instagram. I am in the wrong damn business. This YouTube is not going to get it, child. I need to get up there on Instagram. Apparently, Instagram is where it is at, because these kids, these girls, they are making money off of Instagram. Anytime you are able to give someone 28 acres of land, that is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. So, on Instagram, child, Money Bagg says, all of this shit is mine. Where's yours? Again, bae, she says, this shit is for life. And so Fancy, I guess, you know, they call her Fancy, but Garcelle was hating on the gift because the ladies of the Real, they talked about this 28 acres of land gift. And then Ari says, y'all mad at jewelry and cars, but generational wealth is taking it too far. People will always have something to say no matter what. And now she's even further going into trying to justify what he means to her and to why she gave him these 28 acres. She says, y'all don't know the half of what he does for me mentally or financially. I've never felt so safe, loved, spoiled, and happy with a person. He loves me and my son so much. I'm sorry that you haven't experienced a love like this. Focus on getting your own land and your husband. Child. The shade. The shade. Okay? It's always these women telling people to focus on getting what they want and their happiness, and if you need to find your man and all this shit when they feel attacked. It's like, girl, you don't know if people got a man, you don't know if they got husbands, you don't know if they are capable of buying. But what they are saying, girl, is that you're not married to this man. Why would you go buy him 28 acres of land? Even the ladies at the Real, they had their own opinions about it, and this is what they had to say.
Limits placed on gifts in your relationship when you are not married.
Last season, Lonnie and I were talking about don't act married if you're not married. This is acting married. That's a huge gift to someone that you're not even dating. I mean, that you're not even married to. I feel like if a man gave me 28 whatever acres, I would feel obligated to stay with them if it didn't work.
Would you accept that kind of gift from a man?
Would I accept it? But that's what I'm saying.
When you were dating, should there be limits placed on gifts in your relationship when you are not married?
Last season, Lonnie and I were talking about don't act married if you're not married. This is acting married. That's a huge gift to someone that you're not even dating. I mean, that you're not even married to. I feel like if a man gave me 28 whatever acres, I would feel obligated to stay with them if it didn't work.
Would you accept that kind of gift from a man?
Would I accept it? But that's what I'm saying.
When you were dating, should there be limits placed on gifts in your...
All right, so you guys let me know in the comments what you think about this gift. Do you think that this gift was too much? Do you think that Ari, and Money Bagg, are they acting married? And is this gift, what is too much for a boyfriend and a girlfriend? Like, are there rules, or should there be limits placed on dating gifts? What type of gifts you should give when you're dating versus being married? Should there be limits? Is 28 acres of land something that you would give a boyfriend? I see people in the comments saying, someone commented saying that Money Bagg gave Ari 50% of his royalties off of his last album. What I need to know is, when they break up, how does that go? Does she get to keep the 50% of the royalties? Is he going to want it back? Did they sign something that says, if we break up, I still get this 50% of the royalties of that album? Because that album is still going to be continue to be played. So if it's 50% of what? The royalties now or the royalties forever? So royalties on an album are consistent, It's every time it's played. It's every time, the video is played on a YouTube or the song is played on the radio. So is that going to be for a lifetime, even if they aren't together anymore? I need to know that. I need to ask those kind of questions. Do I get to get these royalties if I break up with you? Again, that goes back to the discussion of when a woman is with a millionaire and you guys break up. If I am accustomed to getting certain type of gifts or living a certain type of lifestyle, just because I break up with you, I still need to be living that same kind of lifestyle. You you brought me up, you need to keep me up. Even after we break up, because I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for you to bring me up like that. So now that we broken up, honey, you still got to provide for me. You brought me here, honey, boo-boo. So I need to know, like, child, does she still get these 50% of the royalties once they break up? Because, honey, they break up and they get back together. They break up and they get back together. You guys know how these young people are. And then as you see his post, all this shit mine, where's yours? Why would you say something like that after this girl just put her whole entire, bared her soul on Instagram in front of everybody? And you say, all this is mine, where's yours? And then she in the comments saying, again, babe, this stuff is for real. This relationship is for real. It's for life. You don't have a ring. You don't have no paperwork. How you know it's for life? In my opinion, that's a bit too much. That's a lot of gift. 28 acres of land, that's a lot of gift. Yes, generational wealth, I get it. I get that you guys are down with these hashtags. Y'all trying to show the world what generational wealth is. Again, that is his generational wealth. That's not yours. You gave it to him, for him and his family. Where's your 28 acres? I'm going to need my 28 acres to be sitting right next to yours. I'm going to need this deed to have my name on it as well. I'm sorry, I'm not giving anybody, but to be honest with you, do you think that this was because she had nothing else to give him? She was trying to outdo her previous gift. She gave last year a Maybach. What do you give someone after that? There's nothing else to gift. Oh, you know what? I'm going to give him 28 acres of land. Like, where did you come up with that idea? How did you just sit there and think, I'm going to give him 28 acres of land? Does this land represent anything? Is it land that your family used to own and you bought it back and gave it to him and his family? Does this land rest upon the slave family that used to be slaves in their family? I don't know. Does this land mean something to him and his family? Because if it's just some random 28 acres, where did you get that idea from? But again, like I said, if you're giving gifts, these young people, you know, they giving diamonds, cars, all these gifts that are hundreds of thousands of dollars. She's trying to outdo the rest. She's trying to outdo her previous gift. She's trying to outdo Jada when Jada Cheese get ready to buy something for baby, or when baby get ready to buy something for her, or when so-and-so get ready to, or Cardi and them get ready to do, or Nikki, she's trying to outgift and show the world, yeah, I got it. I got a bag. And it's like, girl, buy that man a goddamn watch and keep it pushing. Child, buy him another chain or buy him something and keep it pushing. 28 acres of land to me is just too much. That's too much of a gift for a couple that are not married. You guys are not married. And I just don't see, like, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? You're going to put, you know, but shit, I'm going to tell you now, 28 acres of land, you can do a lot with that. You can grow food on that thing. You can have a bomb shelter on that thing. Because let's not act like we not dealing with a world that is unstable. We don't know shit. They talk about they're going to run out of money on October 18th. The government might run out of money. I think they signed something to keep us afloat. But y'all, this world is unstable. So shit, 28 acres of land, I'm going to need us to build a fortress on that thing. We're going to need a bomb shelter. We're going to need a well. We're going to need water. We're going to need to produce our own food. We need chickens, cows, horses. We need to be able to sustain ourselves on these 28 acres. So if that's what is given, that's a good idea, 28 acres, honey. But we need to put it together as a couple. And I'm going to need you to put a ring on it, Money Bagg, because this girl's out here giving gifts like she's your wife. She out here giving gifts like she is your wife, okay? Because in my opinion, that's just too much. I ain't giving nobody 28 acres of shit. If I buy 28 acres of land, honey, that's going to be for me and mine. We're going to put a little fortress on that thing. We're going to have gates. We're going to have people, guards up on them gates, honey. It's going to be like the Walking Dead. You're not going to be able to get through. Child, when the world collapses and it fall apart, we're going to have our own little community. So I see where the 28 acres, that it could come in handy. But girl, in my opinion, that's just too much for a single, for a couple it's just boyfriend and girlfriend. It's just my opinion. Now, last but not least, Nick versus Wendy. Child. So apparently, Wendy, we all know, and we already knew that this was coming. We already had did the story where Wendy, her health, she was suffering from COVID. She was also suffering from alcoholism, and she went into treatment, and she was steady pushing back her season 13 debut and pushing back her press runs and pushing back. And now she's pushed back so far to where now we are having the conversation that Nick Cannon is rumored to be taking over for Wendy Williams. A lot of people already speculated that this was going to be a thing. That, who would replace Wendy? Nick Cannon in talks to take over ailing Wendy Williams' time slot. Amid an ongoing health battle, Wendy Williams and her daytime talk show may lose its standing time slot to Nick Cannon. The 40-year-old Masked Singer host is in serious consideration to take over the ailing host time slot with his new talk show, as network executives look towards a backup plan as she continues to be under a doctor's care. The 57-year-old Wendy Williams show host contracted COVID-19 in September, and that same month she was transported to a New York hospital for a mental health check, causing season 13's premiere to be delayed for the third time. Cannon's new syndicated talk show, aptly named Nick Cannon Show, premiered on Monday, September 27th on a local Fox affiliate. Per the insider Denbar Mercury, which produces both shows, is really pushing to make Nick Cannon's show a huge success. And amid Wendy's health battle, executives have been thinking of a backup plan. The executives have been talking. They are keeping a close eye on Wendy's recovery and hoping for the best. But they have pushed her show back several times, so they're already thinking of a backup plan. It would not be a far stretch for Nick to take her time slot, the insider added. He already has a major platform and a huge fan base, so it is an easy win. So if Wendy's show ends up being a no-go, their backup plan is already set. As both talk shows are syndicated, individual station groups would have to decide to replace Williams' program with Cannon's, making the matter a bit complex. A source shared that it would be a station-to-station decision, but it's likely they would make a deal. The outspoken host talk show was originally slated to return for season 13 on September 20th before it was delayed to October 4th. Excuse me, you guys. Her camp stated on September 30th that the new air date would be October 18th, as she continues to be under a doctor's care and is not ready to work. She has been and continues to be under a doctor's care and is still not ready to work, the statement said in an excerpt. The announcement continued to say that though her breakthrough COVID case is no longer an issue, Wendy is still dealing with ongoing medical issues. To be honest with you, Wendy is going through a lot right now, a source said of her current state. So now on her social media, it says Wendy will not be returning. Her new show will be returning on October 4th. She has been and continues to be under doctor's care and is still not ready to return to work. We plan to return with new shows on October 18th. Her breakthrough COVID case is no longer an issue and she has tested negative, but she is still dealing with some ongoing medical issues. To make matters worse, eager fans turned up at the show's Chelsea-based studios on Thursday as filming was set to take place before a crew member announced that Wendy would not be appearing and that the episode was canceled. Child, not having people show up and then you tell them that it's canceled. Why wouldn't you put out some type of press release so these people wouldn't have came up there? The fans don't come up to the show thinking they're going to sit up in the audience and then you tell these people that it's canceled. Like, girl. Like, why would you not tell these people that show was not happening? Like, how you gonna have these people show up? Woo! But my little mind, how my mind works, I need to know, who did Nick rub elbows with in order to get this situation happening for him? Okay? That's something that I want you guys to think about because we're going to come back to that. You remember when Nick, he had his outbursts about the J words, you know, the ones that run the industry. And you remember he called them savages. He was talking with Professor Griff on his show, his podcast, and he called them savages. And they took his shows from him. They had canceled Wildin' Out for a while. They threatened to take everything from him. And then he was talking like he wanted to commit suicide and everything because he was losing everything. And then he went on to apologize and basically begged for his spot back. He begged to be back in these people's good graces. So I need to know, who did Nick rub elbows with? Okay. We're going to come back to that. Let's finish this article. So reportedly, network bosses had a strong talk with Wendy and told her that she has to get it together and she's messing with millions in revenue. Not the network bosses telling Wendy to get it together. Child, y'all are responsible for this. Wendy's been having this type of behavior for a while now. So why is it now that she need to get it together? You allowed her to play these games, be drunk on set, do drugs, do all this stuff because she was a talent. Y'all let these people do these things. You let these celebrities because it looks like they can handle it. And then when they can't handle it anymore and they need to go to rehab or their health starts declining, now you want to tell her that she has to get it together. Now that she is ailing and frail and weak, now she needs to get it together because she's messing with millions in revenue. Well, when she started getting entangled in illegal substances, y'all should have told her to get it together. One day before she was pictured wheelchair bound on September 24th, she was said to be on the mend and doing well, and that she was ready to get back to work. On September 15th, the vaccinated host's COVID-19 diagnosis was revealed. And at that same day, she was also voluntarily hospitalized at NYC's Beth Israel for psychiatric issues. In the days leading up to the hospitalization, a source told The Sun that she was drinking every day, even while filming, and that she was in serious need of help. Wendy drinks every day. She's an alcoholic, a bad one. She doesn't need a talk show. She needs help, a source said. Everyone is an enabler because they don't want to lose their job. They see it, they know it, they smell the liquor. It was said of staffers, with the source adding that team members were all worried but would not speak up in order to retain their employment. Williams had previously confessed on her show in 2020. I've been dealing with issues with addiction, alcoholism, and at the time confessed she was even living in a sober living house. Wendy drinks every day, and the only time she was sober was when she was at the sober house. Williams also revealed in 2018 that she struggles with Graves' disease, an immune system disorder that results in the overproduction of thyroid hormones, which has caused production to be delayed before. It has been said that her ongoing health struggles could serve as a ratings boost for season 13. And at this time, the show is currently set to return with new programming on October 18th, contingent on her ailments and recovery. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was doing all that talking because my daughter was in there heating up her food, and I had turned it off. Didn't even realize it. See, this is why I don't like people to interrupt my show, because I just did that and did all that damn talking. But what I had said was, on the 18th, I do not think that Wendy is going to come back. I don't believe that she's going to come back because, she's been drinking and drugging all that time. I believe that they should have stopped Wendy a long time ago. She should have been pulled back and sat down. They should have had that talk with her a long time ago. She has been dealing with Kevin. She's been dealing with the divorce, dealing with the baby, dealing with the cheating scandal, all of that. And she dealt with that in public. That will take a toll on you mentally, physically. Drugs will wear your body down. Drinking will wear your body down. And if you couple that with diseases already, and your body's breaking down, you couple alcoholism and drug addiction, anybody's body would, deteriorate. Anybody's career would suffer. So I don't believe that Wendy is going to come back. I don't believe that she will ever go on to do another episode of Wendy Williams' show. I believe that Nick Cannon is going to take over on the 18th. I don't believe that Wendy we'll never see Wendy back in front of a camera. I just don't believe it. I believe she's wore out mentally and physically. And, while as a talent, you as a producer, a network, no, you're not with them 24 hours a day. No, you're not able to tell what they do in their private life. But if the staffers and the people could smell the liquor and you knew that she had a problem, why is it only now that she is threatening to, F up millions of dollars, and there's millions of dollars at stake, now somebody wants to say something. It's like you guys should have been saying, Wendy, pull back. Wendy, you need to go into treatment. Wendy, you need some kind of help. And as far as Nick Cannon, I don't want to see Nick Cannon on another show. How many shows is he going to have? He's got The Masked Singer. He's got Wildin' Out. He's got a podcast. He has everything Nick Cannon. I really don't think that we need to see him on a daytime talk show. I just don't. I mean, to me, Nick is dry. He's just not entertaining. Now, Wildin' Out, I like that. But a daytime talk show, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling that. I think that they need to get Nene Leakes, and I think that that's who they need to put in Wendy's spot. They need to go get Nene, and they need to negotiate a contract with Nene Leakes. I think Nene Leakes would be a better replacement for Wendy than some damn Nick Cannon, okay? And like I said, who did Nick beg for his spot back? Because the way he was headed after making those remarks about the Jewish people, child, and calling them savages, it was the word savage for me. You knew that you shouldn't even have got in that conversation to begin with. You knew that those savages was your bread and butter. Those savages signed your paychecks. Viacom has snatched them shows so fast, child, they snatched that shit back like a lace front. They snatched that shit back like a lace front without no glue. They snatched that turban off quick. Child, they had to snatch Nick's turban back so quick. Nick was all up on Twitter talking about he couldn't take it no more. He was ready to check out. He was ready to end it all. Viacom, they was cutting up contracts after he made those statements. And then what did he do? Tried to retract it. I went and got educated on the Jewish people. I went and got educated. It was an ignorant statement. I should have never made the statement. He begged, basically. He essentially begged them for his jobs. Please don't take me off TV. Please don't take away my shows. But he thought that he owned those shows. He thought that because they were his shows, but didn't realize, yeah, they might be named after you. Yeah, they might be your concept, but Viacom owns them shows. We own those shows, honey. This is our network. You're on the Savages network. You can't be talking about your bosses. You cannot be talking about your bread and butter if you don't have your own network. So, child, whatever it was, whoever's palms he greased, however much begging he did, whatever begging he has done, he begged and he got back in these people's good graces, child, because they done gave him his job back. He got Wildin' Out back. He's back on TV. He had even, child, they had sent him back. They had sent him off into a downward spiral. He was over there with Kiera Sheard and them, child, doing gospel songs. Child, he was over there praying. He was over there with Kiera and them, child. He done said, F this Professor Griff, F this Muslim shit, F this damn 5% conscious shit. I'm going over there with Kiera and them. I'm going over there with Kiki and them. I need to go over there with the gospel community because I need me some Jesus. Child, Nick said, I'm going over there and I'm going to sit up under Kiki and Kiera and all them. I'm going to sit down at that white. He had the white piano, child. He had the white suit. They had a white party in that video. Nick was giving, child, I got to get on my knees and pray to the Holy Ghost. I need my shows back. Child, Nick said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, savages. I'm sorry for, saying all of those things. But now I'm educated. I was an ignorant brother, but I got educated and now I know what I said was wrong. Just give me my shows. Please don't take my shows. But see, that just goes to show you who runs Hollywood, who runs these networks, who runs these studios. Because if you make a comment, about how you felt about something, and at that time, Nick was really feeling himself. He was feeling that conscious movement. He was really feeling himself. But that just goes to show you, you can't make no remarks if those people, they're signing your checks. And they are the ones that are affording you to live that lavish lifestyle and have all that money and be halfway on your way to billionaire status. They had to tighten up. They had to crack that whip and show Nick who was the master. You getting a little bit out of hand, child, because when he said those comments and he was up there trying to talk with Professor Griff and give that commentary, I said, oh, Nick, you need to stay away from that. You need to let him say that. He's already, in that arena. He's already been conscious in the conscious community. Everybody knows that Professor Griff gives conscious community. Nick should have just stayed away from that. So, child, it appears that Nick has begged. He's begged the Jewish people. They done gave him back his spot. He's back on TV. He's got Wildin' Out back. Everybody's, doing great. So now that he's in talks to replace Wendy Williams, I guess he's all the way back. He back. Back like fish grease. Back like reused oil. Back like reused chicken oil and reused fish grease. Nick is back like a perm. He is back like a jerry curl. So, yeah, it just goes to show you that these Jewish people, they run Hollywood. They run, they run the scene. If you want to be who's who of Hollywood, you got to play by the games. If you want a TV show, if you want to be on a national syndicated network, you got to play by the rules. You can't get out of line. You can't say how you really feel. You have to be safe. You got to use safe words. And Jewish and savage, it just didn't go together. It just didn't go together. So, yeah, guys, this has been another edition of the Sweet Pea Diaries. We've covered a lot of different territory tonight, okay? We got Will Smith and Jada and their open relationship. I really believe that it's always been Jada. I believe it was not Will. This wasn't his, he didn't go into this marriage wanting to have an open relationship. I believe Jada encouraged it. And I believe she has whatever her flesh and whatever fetishes and desires that she has, that itch that she got to scratch. She wanted to still be able to do that and be married at the same time to a millionaire. She knew where Will was in his life. She saw where he was going. She latched herself onto that so that she could also be in the Hollywood scene and be and have her career take off. So she wanted to play. She wanted to play in the streets. She wanted to play in the Hollywood scene. She wanted to play with different men, different boys. And I don't think that Will ever wanted to do that. I think it was always Jada. Bill Cosby, he was out here, his publicist was out here talking about R. Kelly got railroaded. And then once everybody started dragging him, he wanted to take it back and say, no. Those were not Mr. Cosby's words. Those were my words. In my opinion, he should have never went there as a publicist. That is PR 101. You never speak for your talent. You never speak for your client. Especially in a situation like this. Especially on an R. Kelly trial, on the verdict. When this has to do with young girls. This has to do with trafficking. You should have never spoke on Bill Cosby's behalf about that. Rick Ross ordered to pay $11,000 in child support to the mother of his 3 recent children. Her monthly income is only $142. This opens a conversation of when you're with a millionaire, when you're with a rap artist, when you're with a sports player, should women start investing in themselves with that money that they're being given during that lifestyle? Should you be opening a business? Should you be putting money away so that in the event you guys break up, you have something. Because it's no way in hell that this woman should have an income of $142. Rick Ross owns many Wingstops. He need to gift you a couple of those Wingstops. Girl, when you was in that bed, when you was doing what you was doing to get those 3 kids, yeah, I need a Wingstop. I need 2 Wingstops. Yeah, sign a contract. Shit, I need 2 Wingstops. I need 2 Wingstops. I need something. I need a beauty salon. I need a boutique, something, because you should not have an income of $142, ma'am. $142, no ma'am. No ma'am. Not for no grown-ass women with 3 kids, okay? And Ari and Money Bagg Yo, when is enough, in gift giving? Should there be a limit placed on gifts that a boyfriend and a girlfriend gift each other? 28 acres of land and you're not a wife, you're not a husband. Ari gifted Money Bagg 28 acres of land. Do we think that that's too much? They're not married. What happens if they break up? Does he get to keep it? Do you want it back? But then on the flip side, people says, oh, well, he gifted her 50% of his royalties to his last album. Okay. But what happens when you break up? Do you get to keep those royalties? And the Shade Room, a PPP loan of over $196,000. It's the $196,000 for me that they paid out in payroll. She says that she pays out that much in payroll every month. So she needed that as a PPP loan because she needed to be able to pay her employees. Do we think that that was a scam? Do we think that she really pays her employees? That the payroll is $196,000? Do we really believe that? Excuse me, guys. Do we really believe that? Or is it giving scam? And the loan got forgiven. She didn't even have to pay it back. So that $196,000 it was free. I always thought, and all I've been seeing is that during COVID, all of these online, blogs and people that have online businesses, they say that COVID improved their business because people were home, they were watching videos, they were watching a lot of streaming shows, they were online on YouTube. A lot of people, like me, became YouTubers during COVID because we were in the house, people were looking for stuff to do. So the Shade Room, if anything, their traffic increased. So do we think that they should have gotten a PPP loan? Do we think it was just greedy? Was it fraudulent? Is it giving scam? Is it giving scam? And Jada Pinkett and Will and their entanglements. Jada, it has now been discovered that she dated rkelly from the group Criss Cross when he was 15 years old. Daz Dillinger from the Dog Pound spilled that tea on a recent interview. He stated that he was once at the studio with rkelly and he told them, hold up, take this weed. I'm going out here to meet Jada. She's out here to see me. And he was only 15. Do we think that Jada Pinkett is a predator? I mean, she was entangled with August Alsina, and now we talk about rkelly from Criss Cross. Is it giving predator? So we talked about all of these topics. We covered them all on this edition of the Sweet Pea Diaries. I thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for being here. It's 37 of you in the chat. You guys make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you join. We have a whole catalog of videos for members. They're on members only right now. You can go on over there and watch the time when I doxed myself. That is on members only. You can go on over and join the channel if you want to. If you don't, that's fine too. And like I said, for the month of October, we will be having Frighttober. We'll be doing 2 videos, 2 uploads a week, and these videos will be about neighbors. You guys remember I had that situation with my neighbor, with my dog. So we will be covering stories like horror neighbor stories for the month of October. It's going to be called Frighttober, Love Thy Neighbor. And those will be uploaded probably Tuesdays and Thursdays. But they will be uploads. We'll be doing them as premieres. And I'll be in the chat with you guys to watch those. Okay? So this has been another edition of the Sweet Pea Diaries. Thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you on the next video. Bye.